Yeah, boy. Hi Sneakies, it's me, Fifi, and I'm back. I'm back again today with day 5 of my ATEEZ'S week. How exciting! We are on to another album first listen today. And I just want to quickly say, if you're subscribed to me, you'll probably already know this. But if you're not subscribed to me, this will probably be new to you. I don't usually like to react to albums in chronological order. I tend to just go to the albums that I feel like doing for my own personal reasons. Like I have reasons for things sometimes that you might not know. And so when I post my schedule on the Sunday, that's where you'll be able to see what albums I'll be checking out. So on Sunday I did post which albums I'll be listening to. I feel like a lot of people were confused because they thought I was going to be reacting to the albums in chronological order or the whole the saga of like those albums, but that wasn't the case. I just wanted to do those first three albums in one day of that little saga, and then I wanted to continue these two albums because I did do a review for the first of this trilogy. I'm not sure if it's a trilogy or not, but I'm going to be doing the Zero Fever Part 2. I did Part 1. I didn't react to it, I just did a review. That should be in my ATEEZ'S playlist, I think. It might not be there anymore, I'm not sure. Anyway, because I did the first one, I just wanted to do 2 and 3. So that's why I did those 3 in one day, and now I've decided just to check out these 2. And yeah, so Zero Fever Part 2, I'm going to be doing the tracks The Leaders, Time of Love, Take Me Home, Country Roads, Take Me Home to the place I belong, West Virginia. Anyway, and Celebrate. I think there's a special video for Celebrate, which I will be doing. And yeah, let's just go. Okay guys, so just before we start, I will be doing lyric videos for these. However, you know the deal, music is my priority, so please don't expect some sort of lyrical analysis. I'll be checking out the words as they're there, but I won't be concentrating on them. I'll be talking about the music production, their vocals. Also, I'm very much aware that these lyric videos are sometimes wrong. Let's go. First track is ATEEZ'S, The Leaders. Let's go. Very... sounds quite dark and haunting. I feel like it's gonna go trap. These ad-libs are very, very trap. Yo, they're all delivering. Ooh. I'm scared. I was about to say, eee. I would have liked to have heard him go for a little bit of a rap, since everybody else did. These synths. I love that. Almost sounds like an ice cream truck sample. Like, can't explain it. they performed this? If they have, I bet it was mayhem. With such a banger, with such an aggressive sort of banger, but it was fantastic. They do really suit this sound. ATEEZ are definitely one of their noisiest groups in K-pop, and we love them for it. So whenever they do songs like this, they always pull it off really, really well. I feel like sometimes it can be a bit cringy when groups go for certain sounds, but they pulled it off really, really well. The only thing I can say, also I love the chorus, where the chorus comes in and you have Uyeon come in with that whisper. It sounded fantastic. The only thing I was disappointed with is that everybody did give a little bit of effort with rapping. It wasn't effort actually, everybody killed it with the rapping, but Jongwon didn't. I don't know if it's known like he can't like rap at all, which is fair enough, but I do feel like there are rappers out there who can barely sing, and they'll sometimes give a little singing, even if it's not perfect, it'll be a little bit off key. So I'm curious as to why we didn't have to sing rapping just a little bit, even a little bit more melodic rapping, do you know what I mean? A little bit more playful, but he is the group's singer, I guess. Yeah, that got me hyped. Let's go on to the next one. Okay guys, let's go. We now have ATEEZ'S Time of Love. Let's go. Dum 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 dum. Ooh, dum 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 dum. Interesting. This song is weird, but in a good way. Woo! Vocals. Whoa! Okay, this is cute. This is a cute song. I think I've worked out. Do you hear that? Ad-lib. Oh boy. This production is fantastic as well. I'm very impressed with your talent, Uyeon. I love that ad-lib. Woo! At the lips. I love this. Oh, I love that. At first, I couldn't quite like focus in on where the song was trying to take me. I was following all the sounds, all the instrumental, but I wasn't getting to that point in my head where like immediately, you know, you can feel like the mood of a song, where it's taking you. But then after a little while, I was like, okay, it's a cute song, it's a fun song. And they did switch it up. They did switch it up for us during the rap verses when Minky and Hongjun came in. There's a cat climbing on the roof next door. Anyway, and I really loved that switch up because it did turn quite trap. You had those 808s come in. It did become quite gritty, a little bit aggressive, but it had all the little details for the cute, fun, happy side of the track that remained within that part of the more gritty side of the instrumental, right? If you listen back to it and you listen back to all the little details that were within it, it was absolutely fantastic production. Also the way they came in, their flow. As soon as Hongjun came in, I was like, yes. It took me back to when they debuted and you had Hongjun come in with this flow, this almost unmatched flow. Like it just sounded so good. But so did Minky. Like they flowed really well on that. I have to say I was super impressed with Uyang and Yeosang in this. I felt like they had a lot more lines and they did go for it a lot more in terms of being a little bit more vocally confident, I'd say. Not vocally better because I'm sure they were never bad, but I feel like they've gained more vocal confidence and are getting more lines and they're really going for certain moments, and I feel like they did really go for it in this song and they both sounded fantastic. Let's go on to the next one. Okay guys, let's go. So next up we have the track Take Me Home, Country Roads. Love those synths. Is that really low synth? Very nice chords. Whooshy sounds. Ooh. We're going for a synthy vibe. Oh, he sounds fantastic. We're getting like an electro synth type. Oh, is that a sample? I like that reverse. Ooh, interesting. Oh, that is the favorite sample. I'll talk about it after. Ooh. Asia. Thank you! Bro, if you're subscribed to me, especially for other groups, you'd know this is one of my pet peeves in K-pop. When they decide to put like an instrument in, whether it's like a saxophone or a guitar solo, but they only do it like a little bit, like a faint in the back, like underneath 2 layers of vocals and other instrumentals, you can barely hear it and then the song ends. It just cuts off and I'm like, no! Why couldn't they just give us a few seconds of just instrumental or like guitar solo, a saxophone solo, and that is what I ask for all the time. And if I go that saxophone at the end sounded so good. That song was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. It was very sort of synth wave. I loved it. Electronic. Do you know what I mean? It had that sort of 80s, the decade, and the group. Again, if you're subscribed to me, you know, whenever I refer to the decade 80s in my reactions, I get comments saying, this sounds nothing like 80s, meaning the group. I'm like, bro, I'm talking about the decade 80s. Again, right, I'm talking about 80s this time, finally, but I'm talking about both. I'm talking about the decade as well this time. It definitely had those influences in there. The synths in that were fantastic. The melodies were stunning. Some really, really nice melodies. That was definitely like a late night drive, driving through the city at night type of vibe and energy. I'm here for it. I loved it. I do want to quickly point out that there was a sample. I'm not sure if it was the sample that or if they did like a vocal thing to sound like that sample. But in K-pop, it's been used by NCT 127 in what's it called? Oh fuck's sake! NCT 127 regular. You hear that? And also Twice's Fancy, like. You get that and the original sample is actually from Nelly featuring Kelly Rowland. Nelly, I love you, and I need you, Nelly. When I first heard that in NCT 127 song, because I heard it in K-pop there first, I was like, bro, my brain, like it was burning my brain. I was like, where do I know that sample from? And then one day I was listening to Nelly, I love you, and I was like, and I was like, whoa, that's what it's from. But it is a very popular sort of sample. It's used in a lot of stuff. Now, I don't think if that was the exact sample. It might have been taken and slowed down a little bit, because usually it's like, so it might have been slowed down a little bit, or it was them just going, and it sounded a lot like that sample. Either way, I feel like the intention of that was there. Classic. Let's go on to the last track on the album. Okay guys, let's go. Last but not least, I will be doing the ATEEZ Celebrate special video. Let's go. I'm loving these visuals already. Yeah. I can feel this love. The greatest love. You can feel this too. When we're make. Oh, hear that church organ. Yeah, we got the church choir as well. They're taking us to church. Est-ce que tu veux d'abord je dois m'adouber? That's so cute. Yes, I knew it! You hear that bass? That bass. That's so pretty, though. How they look like real. It looks so cute in that hat. Look at them! Hey, 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 hey! Did you see it? Oh, fucking it up! Nah, cause I can see him in the church. Spirit leaving his body! Yo, I love soulful ATEEZ. I feel like you guys snaked me again because, you know, from the previous our first listens, I feel like you kind of knew I was going to go a little bit crazy for that. That was brilliant. Immediately, I was like, hold on a minute. And then as soon as I heard those church organs coming on, I was like, oh shit, they're taking us to church. Then you had the church choir vibes. Woo! I loved those 3 chord sequences. It was like dun dun dun. In the pre-chorus, I believe, I immediately, I knew, like, I don't know if you noticed in my reactions, I can guess what the next chord is, or a specific chord sequence or progression. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I can. I feel like a lot of the time people might think I've already heard a song before, but I do this, especially if it's a specific genre. Now, if it's like jazz, R&B, a song like this, very sort of gospel, a very sort of a staple sort of genre, it's even easier because I feel like I've listened to so much music in my life since I was a baby. My dad was a musician. I spend every day listening to music now for work, for my YouTube. All I do is listen to music. Up to this point now, I literally could predict certain chords like in a sequence. Anyway, so immediately I was like, I knew it. I knew they were going to sound like that, and they sounded perfect. We was getting vocals from John Opera. He just, oh my God, he's insane. He's insane. They all sounded fantastic. I loved the visuals. I loved how they were all vibing. That was brilliant. I loved it. Definitely making it into one of my favourite ATEEZ songs that I've heard thus far. Definitely going in one of the playlists. And yeah, that's it. I shall see you tomorrow for the 6th day of ATEEZ week. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you have subscribed, I love you. I love you. Gonna follow me on Instagram, gonna follow me on Twitter, and yeah, goodbye.
Oh.